What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about GTA 6 and if it'll slip out of 2025. Now, yesterday, there was an article written in Bloomberg from Jason Schreier, who, the guy knows his stuff, right? Regardless of personal opinion on the guy, he knows his stuff. The article itself was kind of a nothing burger. I saw a couple, headlines that were going around on it in terms of, toning down, insensitive jokes, let's say, towards minorities and things like that. And that kind of stuff has already kind of been floating around. It felt very much like a summary article more than like actual new news, but it did bring us the reminder of how many games are kind of waiting on GTA, and for the time being, I find that more interesting. Like, once we get details on GTA 6, I'll be obviously very interested in that, but for right now, and maybe even in the future as well, I do find it interesting how many games and studios you imagine are just like staring at their calendar saying, oh my god, we were planning on releasing in October 2025. Now, this connects because today, Jason, the same guy, right, who wrote it, was appearing on Kind of Funny, and he was asked by Tim Geddes about like his gut check on GTA 6, and he said in his own personal opinion that he would be shocked if the game actually made 2025, and that he believes it would be pushed to 2026, but he believes that just based off of the history of Rockstar, right, that this is what they do. You think of Red Dead was basically pushed like a year, to the point where it came out obviously when it did. So that's his opinion. I want to make this actually more about, my opinion selfishly, but that is something to, I don't think you can completely discount it, because you can say, well, it's just one man's opinion, and that's true. And I don't think he's any better of a man than, any of us, but he is plugged in. He does know his stuff. And, again, like, it feels very, that opinion along with that article does feel very like summary-ish, where it's like, we've kind of known some of this stuff, or we've assumed some of these things. And it's like, at least for me, I don't ever want to fully expect almost anything at this point, in the gaming industry. I just feel, as time has gone on, as the industry continues, it's chugging along, expecting things, there's always those quotes, and they're good life lessons. Like, when you have those type of expectations, you're bound to be burned. And, for GTA, I will be honest, though, I have kind of just thought that it is what it is, that it is releasing like October, November. And, you have to also think on the other side of things. So, like, his opinion is, well, this is just what they do. And, all their games, get pushed. And it to not happen to GTA when GTA is more sophisticated. It's we're further along in the gaming industry than we were 6 years ago for Red Dead. So, and, that was part of his argument, right? And that was part of his argument, right? That things have only gotten more complicated. Well, at the same time, they have stuck with what they've said. And even in actually his article, he talks about, he says it kind of all as facts. Like, you don't really know who he's talking to, right? But he does say, like, they've missed multiple deadlines, but at the same time, like, they are now on track. So, with that being said, it's like, okay, well, you can miss like 6 deadlines, but if you've caught up now, there's not really like this massive guarantee that you're going to fall behind and the game's not going to come out when you say it is, right? I mean, I guess you could look to the history and say, all right, if you've missed like 5 deadlines, say over the last 6 months, odds are you're going to miss more deadlines in the future. But at least where they're at right now, they have caught up to those deadlines that they've missed, right? So it's like we're kind of back at square one. We're back at every time we hear about this game from them, from Take-Two, the game is coming out in the fall. They have not wavered on that. And as I've said before, now this is my own thing, right? As I've said, we're really running out of time, I think, before they have to lock it in. Again, they're huge and they can kind of do whatever they want, but you're not delaying at least in my opinion, you're not delaying GTA 6 like a month or two before the game comes out. You can do that for like the average everyday game. And I mean, even with those games, I mean, a month or two is not that much time. You normally do it before then. So again, what I'm kind of getting at, I would say the spring. This spring, like this upcoming spring, this is kind of it. Like, if you do not say, actually, if you keep saying that the game is coming out in the fall, right, every quarter, and I mean, we should hear from them probably, within the next 2 to 4 weeks, we might hear it again, coming out in the fall of 2025. If they say that again, and then they say that at the end of March, and then they say at the end of June, right, these are the quarters of the year, you say it there, and it's like, okay, well, you're kind of out of time now, right? You say it the last day of June, you're going into July, why, the game's probably coming out like October, November, and you would just run out of and I'm not saying again, running out of time. Well, to them that might not matter. To them, they could just delay the game the day before. They would ruin people's lives, but I mean, they could do it, and they would get away with it. Like, people would be very upset. People would do some very scary things, but they would buy the game whenever it comes out. That's kind of the leverage that GTA has over people, including myself. They can kind of do whatever they want with delaying it or moving it up or whatever. You're going to buy it anyway. At least a lot of people are going to do that. So I don't know. I mean, again, this is kind of a discussion type video. I want to believe it's coming in 2025. They've said enough times. You could say like there's no reason to doubt them. Yet again, it's the gaming industry. There are a lot of delays generally. There's delays with Rockstar. According to the article that goes over stuff, like they have missed things or missed deadlines before. So yeah, it's definitely possible that it gets pushed. But I don't know. And in terms of kind of how we started this video, what is actually kind of scary, not necessarily to me, but probably to like the gaming industry, like the developers and publishers, is like they have such a stranglehold. And again, that's kind of what I find interesting. There's such a stranglehold where this game, maybe it could get delayed at the last second. Maybe this game is coming out October of 25, and in August they push it to 26. Well, from the article, we've heard that studios are like waiting till the last minute to even announce games that exist that are coming in the fall. Companies are not even announcing that they're making games that are coming out in the fall, let alone games we know are real and maybe have had a trailer or two, or maybe 0 trailers, but it's real. Not even those games. We're talking about companies that have games that are releasing within 9 months, and they don't want to even say they're making it yet because they still have to figure out where is it releasing, as opposed to GTA. They want to stay, I think the quote was like, very far away. Now, I've talked about, before in videos what I think that means. To me, I think it's a month. I've had pushback on that. I think some people think it's more. It could be. I just feel, you have GTA come out, pick a day, pick a month. If you come out 3-4 weeks before it, 3-4 weeks after it, I think you're okay. I guess I don't know that for sure. I have gone back to look at like when Red Dead and when GTA 5 came out. I feel like you can do it. You are not releasing your game that week, and you're probably not releasing your game the week before or week after. But some companies, I think, are going to have to do it 2 weeks after, 3 weeks after, 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before. You're probably going to have to do that. And again, that's just what I kind of find so interesting, the stranglehold. Companies are waiting, and at the last second, GTA might say, nah, we don't really feel like, it's like SpongeBob, we don't really feel like doing this. We're going to come out in 2026 now. And now companies would say, oh, thank God, we can put out our game whenever we want, in the fall. But yet again, they've wasted so much time, so that's a negative. And then any game that's coming out now, say the spring of 26, they're freaking losing their minds, again, like SpongeBob when he forgets his name, and they're saying, oh my dear God, now what do we do? So it's just, I don't know, I find that kind of funny, just like the wait period that we're in of everybody waiting on GTA, only for it to potentially ruin other games' lives, if it actually moves. And if it doesn't move, you still have to freaking wait however long, until games say, okay, it got its day, it's coming out October 15th, well, now we can announce our game is coming out. And I don't know, I just find that you don't get that almost ever. Like, that's really once every kind of generational type thing with a GTA or a Red Dead or stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.